Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and this is Grilled Pork Tenderloin and Chimichurri. Well, today we're grilling up pork tenderloins, and we're also going to be grilling a chimichurri sauce. Now, chimichurri is typically based off of parsley and garlic and some red wine vinegar, often a raw condiment, but not today. Today we are going to be roasting off some peppers to throw into our chimichurri. So we'll be featuring some poblano peppers, some serrano peppers, a little bit of onion. We're going to bring it all together, mince it up super fine, and it creates this bright, beautiful green sauce that's perfect for grilled meats. So after we get done with those pork tenderloins, we'll put it all together, but it's really a dish that can go a lot of different ways and makes it a really versatile thing to have in your fridge. So like I said, we've got some of our traditional chimichurri ingredients here, and then we've got the peppers that we're gonna fire roast to add to the sauce. So let's head over to the grill. Now today we'll be grilling on the Yoder Smoker's YS640S pellet grill. We got it set up for direct grilling with grill grate panels in place over the fire. We're currently set to 450 degrees so that we can get a nice big flame shooting up on these peppers. And the idea here is to blacken the skins on the outside so that they can start to release, and then we'll be able to steam those off in a bag. So we're gonna take the rest of these ingredients that are just going raw and chop these up rough, and we're gonna put this together in the Vitamix. We got our parsley, we got some cilantro. Again, not necessarily in a really traditional way to do a chimichurri, but adds some great flavor. Next, we're gonna get some garlic in there. And the garlic, we just want to get the skins off and give them a rough chop. So we're also going to add in a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. And that's really the traditional acid that we use with chimichurri, but I love a little lime juice in there as well. So we're going to squeeze the juice of 1 lime in here as well. I'll have some pretty exact measurements for you guys in the recipe that you can always click on that link to go check out the recipe on our blog. But this is one of those things that you really can just adjust and really taste the way you like it and make the changes. So also gonna add some capers in here for that nice brininess, and I'll throw in a pinch of salt right now. We're using the Jacobsen habanero salt to give it just a little bit of kick. All right, so we're getting some of that blistering on the pepper. That's what we're looking for, black and blistered on the outside. Just turn these and do that on all of the sides. And then we're gonna finish this off with 2/3 cup of olive oil. I don't have time for a cap. Use a really good olive oil, really tasty one. And that's gonna be it until we get our roasted peppers off the grill. Serranos are now blistered on all sides, so we're gonna throw those into a zip top bag. So these poblanos are getting close, but they got a little bit more to go. I'm gonna throw on some corn as well, because we're gonna throw this all together in a bowl to finish it off with some grilled corn and the pork and some rice and all that. All right, these are looking pretty good now. You see where the skin is released on pretty much all sides. So all the peppers are going into a bag. You can throw them in a bowl and cover them. You can throw them in a Ziploc bag, whatever works for you, whatever you've got handy. Our onion, we're just gonna chop up and throw in the blender. So while those peppers are steaming, we're gonna trim up our pork tenderloin. You can see there's a lot of connective tissue on the surface. Some of it's thicker than other places. I like to just clean this up a little bit and try and take that off the surface. And I'll really only pick on spots where it looks a little bit thicker. If it's just a thin layer, I'm not too worried about it. But all right, we're gonna call that acceptable. If this trimming process is something that's new to you, a couple quick tips, have a nice sharp knife. This 6-inch curved boning knife from Wusthof is one of my favorites for this kind of trimming. When you go in to make your cut, first cut that tab so you've got something to lift up on. Now your hand's out of the way. And then I kind of keep this angled up so that I'm not gouging into the meat. And then hopefully we just take off mostly the silver skin. So now that we've given these some time to steam in there, we're gonna take the skins off of them, get the seeds and the skin off the outside. And if we've done this right, it should just kind of peel off the flesh. So now that we've got this skin off, we have some of that grilled flavor left behind, a little bit of that char, and the pepper is this really great softened texture of the flesh to it. And the serranos, if you really want to add some heat to this chimichurri, don't bother with the fire roasting part of them. Just throw them in there raw, seeds and everything. All right, so what we're gonna do here is just give this a rough chop and add it to the blender. So we could do this by hand for a little bit more rustic feel, or you can throw it in the blender to really get it broken all the way down. Essentially stop anytime you want to. Check out this consistency. So still pretty thick and chunky. If you like that, stop there. If you want it finer, keep going. I'm gonna take it just a little bit further. All right, so not totally without texture, but still not too chunky. Flavor's fantastic. Big herb notes. It's bright because of that vinegar and the lime juice. You get the garlicky, oh yeah, there's the garlic for sure. And then there's that slight bit of like fire roasted flavor from the peppers that bring just a touch of heat as well. So chimichurri is one of those sauces that you can use as a marinade. You can slather it on the meat before grilling. You can use it as a condiment after the fact. We're gonna employ a couple of those ideas today. We're gonna go just kind of light on the surface here as a slather, and then hit this with a little bit of seasoning, something fairly neutral to let the chimichurri shine. And then we'll have the chimichurri with the pork just as a sauce on the side as well. So we're gonna season this today with the Killer Hogs TX or Texas brisket rub, but it's really just a straightforward salt, pepper, garlic, onion, maybe a little bit of parsley in there. I like that it's got a big chunky texture to it, and there's really nothing that's gonna steal the show from the chimichurri here. So this corn, when I could feel through the husk that it was getting tender, I just went ahead and pulled that husk back, just getting a little bit of color on the outside. We don't want a lot, but that's all that there really is to that. Pork tenderloin's gonna go right over the fire here, get some direct heat. Again, we're at 450 degrees. We get a nice little bit of char from the grill grates and from the flames, and just kind of roll these around and pull them at 140. Yeah, so we're starting to get some nice color on there. Grill grates putting their marks on them. So like 145 is kind of that target finishing temperature, but if we wait that long, it's gonna fly right past 145. So we're gonna pull it here at 140 and let it finish coming up to temp off the grill. This guy's a little bit thicker and about 7 degrees behind, so we'll give it a little bit more time. All right, we're ready to pull this last one off. Let's go put it all together. All right, so we're gonna put together some little rice bowls here with our grilled corn and our pork tenderloin. Just cut off our corn here. All right, so a little grilled corn on top of our brown rice and quinoa. We'll lay some pork tenderloin on top. And this stuff we can either dice up or just serve. If we cut them kind of thin into medallions, you can just cut right through this stuff with a fork because it's so tender. It's one of the things I love about pork tenderloin. Very tender piece of meat, but also pretty lean, and when cooked properly, just super juicy. I don't want to lose any of those juices to the cutting board, so we're going to put those right on top of the pork. And we'll top it all off with our chimichurri. Oh man, bite through tender. That 140 to 145 range is just perfect for the doneness on the pork tenderloin. But I gotta tell you, the chimichurri is the star of the show. I mean, the pork is tender, but the chimi wakes everything up. Like I said, we kept it pretty neutral on the flavorings on the pork itself, so that chimichurri with all of its brightness, it's lightly spicy, it's got some acidity to it. I mean, it's hitting all of the marks. Sweeten some of that up with that corn on there and the chimichurri. We got it made. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out allthingsbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to allthingsbbq.com/thesauce. All Things Barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.